Hello, my makeup loving friend. Welcome back. That's right, Tia has returned like the Messiah. So, we are doing what we usually do and talking about the makeup releases that you guys wanted to talk about. But thankfully, you have a little bit of glamour to look at this week rather than my foot of a face. As always, you guys have been tagging me, so we'd have no episode without you guys. So big thank you to everyone who tagged me. I'm going to show your names now. I massively appreciate it. And a massive thank you to my patrons. And we have birthdays. A major happy birthday to Franca and to Angela.
Happy birthday.
Seeing as this was the triumphant return of Tia, I decided, that's right, I decided I did a theme and it was to choose your favorite thing. So obviously I have my favorite thing, Tia. So I am she is a thing, that's right. I've objectified her.
Yeah, I am a thing. I'm not a person anymore.
No, that's what your friendship with me is. But the theme is this week to use your favorites, whether it's favorite makeup item, favorite makeup look, whatever. So I am going to show pictures right now. But we have lots to talk about, and the first thing was really strange. This is Too Faced, who have been doing a lot of late. Like, they have been coming out with a lot of stuff. This is their Lip Injection Extreme Lip Shaper, and they came out in 6 shades. They claim that it's instant plumping and 10-hour long wear, and I love because it's Too Faced, they're like, hey, don't worry, we've managed to make a fucking lip liner smell like something. That's right, because everyone wants lip liners to smell like something. Smells like strawberries, apparently.
Why would you need your lip liner to smell?
Why would you need your lip liner to plump?
I don't like that it's one of those twisty thingy.
Not
like
hygienic.
I prefer sharpenable, like wooden lip liners or like those kind of. I feel like they're the best. Also the colors. I mean, I like espresso shot and in big truffle. Those look nice.
Yeah.
And cinnamon swirl is also nice. I mean, they're nice colors, like coffee nude. It actually, I was looking at the deeper skin tone swatches, but like on a fair skin tone, that looks like a more like a cool toned, more like light pink nude. But who would actually go and buy like a $24 lip liner when you can go and just get like Barry lip liners for like a $5 or even less?
Me, I'd do that, but in the name of science. Because I was like, look, I can fucking make a video.
I totally shaded Teresa without even knowing.
I just think the whole thing is a bit ridiculous. And I think the way that they're selling this, I'll show you the pictures now. They're all like, hey, this lip liner will plump your lips. And they have like one half of the face without the lip liner and then one half with the lip liner. And they're like, look at the difference. And I'm like, but you've overlined in the other half. That is not, it doesn't look plumper. It's that you've overlined. That's not what you're doing there. So you're not even showing me that it plumps. And like, they claim that this plumping thing is, by the way, going to last for 10 hours, which I fucking highly doubt. But I kind of want to try it just because I think it's so stupid and I want to see.
I mean, if someone would send these to me, I would use them. Like, I wouldn't be like, ew, garbage. I would be like, yes, I will use you. But it depends like how creamy those are, because I don't like when lip liners are like too creamy. And sometimes those like twistable ones can get like a little bit too creamy for my liking. You can't get a really like a sharp line.
Yeah.
There's two. And it depends like how thick that, because they look really like the end looks really thick.
Yeah.
For some reason. So I'm like, how am I supposed to get like a clean lip line with this?
It looks more like a really thin lipstick than like a lip liner. I agree. I prefer like pencil liners because they're just more hygienic anyways.
They say it's an easy click up design, means no sharpening ever. I do not like. What if you click it too much? Like, can you get it back in? I don't like that.
But how would you, because if it's like a really, we'll just say hypothetically creamy texture and you're there trying to shove it back in with your finger, like how
I think there must be some kind of like a plunger going in. and then when you click it comes up, so I don't think you're able to. Well, maybe if you push the clicker down and then push the lip liner, but that's just so much hassle.
This feels like totally unnecessary technology for what is a lip liner.
I wish they would have, like, because I know a lot of people really like their like eyeliners.
Or even just extend the eyeliner range that they have, because they could definitely add some extra colors in there. They haven't done that in like what, 2 years, something like that. This was really weird, and I feel like coming out with 6 shades and a lot of the shades look very similar on certain skin tones, it felt a bit weird. The only reason I got it was I happened to have a voucher for Cult Beauty and it was running out, so I was like, meh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a really quick video of like one half of my lips with the Too
For
Faced
science.
and one half with another, to see, can we see if there's a difference, and also then see if it does fucking wear all through the day and does it keep my lip damp. And by the way, I'm not going to be overlining like they did in those pictures, because that's pissed me off.
I mean, I always overline my lips to the most, so.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with overlining lips, but if your whole
Yeah, but you want to see like if the plumping effect is
Exactly.
really like there.
Exactly. So I can't tell based upon those pictures whether there is actually any plumping at all. So it's weird advertising, but yeah, I just thought it was like really quite an odd product, and it seems a lot of you guys thought that as well, because when I put it to you guys, 4% of you loved it and 61% said, what even does that mean? And then we have Urban Decay really trying to claw them back from who even knows what at this point. These are their new 24/7 inks. They are available now. They're $26 each, which I feel is very pricey for what it is, and there's 9 shades. Of those shades, there's matte and there's shimmers, and I love how they say it's 24-hour wear with an ergonomic grip, which is meant to help you like grip onto it a little bit better. I think there's some like semi-interesting shades in there. There's maybe like 3 shades in there that I find interesting, but beyond that, the rest I think are just like
depends on to do these draw over eyeshadow.
Yeah,
because like a lot of times like these felt tip applicators, I feel like they don't draw over like this kind of eyeshadow. Like, could I do this?
I doubt it.
Liner with that, but like I'm expecting great quality because it's like Urban Decay and they do pretty good with like some products.
Yeah, and like their liners are really good. I think what annoys me is they used to have liquid liners, and I actually have them right here. So for example, this is one of the shades that they had, but this is a liquid liner.
Yeah.
And it actually has like a brush tip.
I mean, I don't hate this. Like, even though like I feel like Whiskey is a nice shade, like a nice brown. I like that there's a white and a black. Don't know about the shimmery ones.
Yeah, it's funny because they've definitely taken some of the shade names from the previous one. Like even that shade that I just picked up there, that was called Deep End, and that was in their liquid liner, and they've got a shade in this new line called Deep End as well. So I love how they're just like, no, we can't even be bothered to come up with new names. Let's keep it as it is.
So this is like kind of like the liners, but like in this form now.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the kind of product that I would need to like swatch and like test. And it's hard to swatch and test on a shop before buying. Like, does it actually draw over eyeshadow, or is it just, I don't like that it's a felt tip. I prefer a brush tip.
Same.
Or like a liquid liner for like those kind of colorful shades for like white and yellow and green and blue, and even the shimmery ones. The black and the brown one I could trust kind of, because you can get them right even on felt tip applicators, but I'm not a huge fan of a felt tip applicator, to be honest.
I'm the same. I find anytime I have a felt tip applicator, if you've like eyeshadow down, they're more likely to get clogged with
and they're like drag.
Exactly. And if you're doing like really intricate like graphic lines, I think that's going to make it so much more difficult. I want them to come back with these bloody liquid liners. Like, this is what they used to have.
So why don't you do that? I don't know about the shimmery ones. They look a bit iffy.
They look flat.
Trying to like imagine how would you do like a shimmer, because there can't be like big shimmer particles? Like, how would it come through the felt tip applicator?
Yeah.
Like, I'm confused.
It just looks really flat and really dull, like you've worn it all day and that's what's left. Like the only way you could really augment that is to take the existing glitter liners and shove that on top. But that defeats the purpose. You're just layering products on top of each other.
Like, they look really good on the dark skin swatches, but then I look at the lightest skin swatches and they look a bit like patchy.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about this. I think the applicator looks like quite interesting. I don't know if that will help you or no, but like,
Yeah.
at least it's not another naked palette. So
I'll take it. It's better than some of the nonsense we've seen from them lately. And I do
yeah,
think there's like some interesting colors in there. I think that pale blue, the yellow, and the green, they're really interesting. I'd love to see those like as liners. I think they're really, really pretty. But would I spend $26 on something that I'm not 100%
yeah,
certain on? Not really. All in all, I just think it's kind of too expensive for
yeah, for what it is.
like if it was Urban Decay as they were 10 years ago at their peak, I don't think I'd have questioned it. But because
Yeah,
quality hasn't really improved much in the last couple of years, I don't know. I think there's better brands out there. I would sooner go
yeah,
for the like existing liner palettes that I have that
yeah.
I can use a brush with.
And I usually use like for like this kind of stuff, I use like water activated liners.
Same.
I'm not like disappointed at them, but I'm also not like excited.
When I put it to you guys, similar sort of thoughts. Like 24% of you loved it, which is a lot better than Urban Decay has done in the past, while 55% said not for me. Speaking of further middle of the road, this is Pat McGrath and her Divine Bronze collection. Now, to the best of my knowledge, this is the first time she's ever actually done a bronzer, so this is different.
Oh,
Yeah, so she
I
has.
almost got a heart attack when I was like $62. And then I was like, oh, it's the quad.
Yeah, it's the ridiculous quad. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, so there's 8 shades of bronzers. They're $39 each. You can apparently get them in like duos, and there's all these different sets if you decide you want to get the whole thing. The quad itself, let me real, it's not anything that she hasn't done before. If you have any of her stuff, you probably have these shades across a couple of palettes. $62.
$62 for that. Like, I would have to be out of my mind, drunk, thinking that I'm rich, and then even like maybe gun going to my head to buy that.
I mean, when you think about it, it's
Like,
$14.50 per shade, and 2 of those are mattes.
yeah, and like the shimmers looks exactly the same. Like, what would you do with that? Like, maybe if you just use like a couple of shades, if this was your like, I use this every day, these kinds of shades, then fine.
Yeah.
But like for a person with a collection of a size as large as me or you probably have something similar in your collection.
I will also say, not only do I have something similar, but I have something that will give me a very identical almost effect, but from cheaper brands. I could get the same thing from like Beauty Bay. I could get the same thing from Elf. Like, I don't need to spend $62 for that.
Yeah.
She needs to be showing some really, really
I
interesting.
feel like she needs to do these more interesting. Like, what if that was like a quad of like shimmers, but like duochrome, like bronzy to greenish to like to go with the collection. We don't need the mattes. Just do like a full shimmer, like those like special kind of shades.
Yeah.
That would maybe make it more like desirable.
I agree. When you're looking to spend that much money, you want to get something that is a bit special. So for me, the price point doesn't match with what it is.
Yeah, it's the same price as like the Blend Bunny quad, like the multi-chrome quad was.
Exactly.
So if I would have to choose, like, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, Pat has her stands. They love her. That's fair enough. And if you love her, you love her. That's great. Absolutely delighted for you. I just think that, we're in a situation where a lot of people feel like, oh, I must buy, I must buy, I must buy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need this. I don't think there's anyone in the
Yeah.
world that legitimately can say like, oh my God, I need this in my life. You don't. You just want it, but you
Yeah.
have other things that you could dupe this out with. You're all right.
The bronzers look really nice though, I'm not
They
gonna lie.
do. I think that's the most interesting thing that she's done. And considering it's the Divine Bronze collection, I think she could have just left it at that and been like, here's
Yeah,
doing,
I
you
don't
know,
think we need the blush. I don't think we need the lippies. I don't think we need the quad. I
no.
think just the bronzers would have been nice. I'm not gonna lie, that light bronzer looks really nice.
Yeah, it does. And it's not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. Like 30.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. Like for a high-end bronzer, it's not too bad. Like it is really expensive. But if it would go down to like 50% off on some kind of sale,
Yeah.
I'd like to see the bronzers swatched.
Yeah. I'm
They
intrigued.
look nice, but I would like to see them swatched. I feel like they go quite deep though.
Mm.
So, and quite light. So on the pictures, but I would still like to see them swatched.
Yeah, I think that's the bit that I like. I mean, like you said, when you look at the lip collections, it does feel very much like stuff that we've seen before. It's not that she's re-releasing stuff. This is like the Nude Venus, but it looks very similar to other shades that she has. Like, she's done a lot of these nudie, neutrally colors. The blush, thankfully, at least, isn't a re-release. She's done that
Yeah.
before. She's tried to trick us, but I do feel it looks similar to other blushes that she has in the collection, so you don't need it. What nearly killed me was looking at those brushes, because they look lovely, but they're like crazy expensive. One is $57 and the other one was like, I think it was $37.
I was like expecting like 45 or something like that, but $60.
Yeah.
What the actual, like you could get a full brush set, like a good brush set with that money.
I know.
Even with the blush brush, blush brush. It sounds so stupid when you say it.
It is hard.
But like $39. You could even that price, you could get a really good, nice brush set from like Chesa brushes or something. And obviously they maybe not be like Pat McGrath brushes. Like, but we don't know because but like they would still be really nice and really good and do the job for you. So
I mean, I get it. You know, people are paying for the name, they're paying for like the image, all of that, the lifestyle, the whole thing that comes with it. But again, we're facing into an economy that is
yeah.
crumbling.
And if you want the both of the brushes, it's $100. You could get like almost get like how much was the Stacey Marie brush set?
Oh, that was like €100, 110, something like that.
Yeah. So you could get like that with just the cost of like it's mind-boggling to me sometimes, like how things are priced. I'm like, where is this coming from?
It's literally
Because
just brand recognition. People understand and they know who Pat McGrath is.
yeah,
They just assume, oh, we're going to get a certain standard of quality. It's
yeah,
not in their customer service. You're not paying for that because their customer service is trash. Like, I'm sorry, I'm very bitter about all of that. But I mean, it's fine. I think it'll do pretty okay, simply because she has her stands. The people that come back and love her stuff, they want to be like, I have the new Pat McGrath. The collectors will go for it. It's very safe. You know that people will give this as gifts to be like, oh, it's expensive, so must be good. But I think if you're in the makeup community for long enough, you know that price doesn't always equate to quality. So that's kind of where I am with that. I don't really buy anything from Pat McGrath because, again, like I said, their customer service dreadful. When I put it to you guys, 14% of you loved it and 59% said not for me. This one really kind of confused me. I got
tagged your TikTok on this and I was like, what?
I was so confused when I saw this, and I love how Elf had to clarify. They were like, this is not a makeup product, so I don't even know if I should necessarily be talking about this, but I got tagged mercilessly in this. This is their Power Grip Slimer and it's $6. Weirdly sold out already. They said that they were putting a $100,000 donation benefiting the whale and dolphin conservation, and proceeds of this Sticky Shop merch collection up to $25,000 will also benefit the cause. So basically it's just like slime, and they have like bits of like little dolphins, which I'm kind of half wondering, are these plastic? Because that ain't going to be very good for, you know, the environment and saving said dolphins and whales. It just feels like a really weird move.
I mean, I feel like the slime is the whole, like, they have their own community.
Yeah.
They like to do them themselves. They just love it. I just don't get this. I like that they're donating money, but if they were already gonna make the donation donation of $100,000, why do we need this?
We don't.
I don't know.
So straight. I really don't get it. Like you said, anyone who's into slime, they've figured out how to make it themselves. This is just really strange and a really odd move from Elf. And I will also say, if you go onto the Sticky Shop merch, they also have like varsity jackets and baseball caps and like iron-on thing. It's really weird. I'm like, what is happening over there? Like, Elf, what do you, I get, you know, they went from cosmetics to skincare, but now this feels like a really odd move from them.
I do not understand this.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it kind of bugs me, and it feels a little bit like they're gonna be like claiming a lot of this back on tax, allegedly. And I kind of feel like if you really do want to help benefit the environment, probably making more things in plastic containers ain't the way to go about it.
I just love how it says on the like cover, eyes, lips, face, sticky, eyes, lips, face, sticky, and then do not use on your eyes, lips, face, or face. Like, why would you then put eyes, lips, face, sticky? Like, it sounds like some kind, like you stuck it on your face. Like, why does it say that there then?
Like, I know that ELF stands for eyes, lips, face.
But yeah, like, but it's still like, it kind of implies
it's an established enough brand that they can just say ELF.
Yeah.
So why not just say ELF slime?
ELF sticky. ELF slime sticky stuff.
And like,
no, like, how is it sold out already?
I don't know. But the fact that they've called it Power Grip Slimer, because you know how they have their Power Grip
primer. I really like it.
It's going to confuse people. That they're going to be like, oh, is it related to this product as well?
Yeah.
Very.
I'm not a fan.
No.
I don't like slime. This is not for me. It's just weird. Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for like any sort of sensory aids, because I love these sort of things. Like, I love anything sensory, but I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy it because I'll figure out how to make it myself.
Yeah.
You know,
it's easy enough to make yourself. You can find a video on anywhere. Just Google it and do it yourself.
Yeah.
And not buy this stupid.
Yeah, I think that's
gonna just end up on the landfill, and then
it's gonna hurt the actual dolphins and whales.
Yeah.
I think that's what really bugs me about it, is like, but you doing this is going to do more harm than good than that measly $125,000.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It seems really, really weird. When I put it to you guys, 9% of you said I love slime, and 69% said that it was a weird venture for Elf, which I totally agree with. Oh my God, can I say, when I saw this, I got so many tags in this, partly because obviously you guys wanted me to talk about it, but also because you guys know what I'm interested in, and these are the sort of color stories that I very much gravitate towards. So this is a collaboration between Mika Beauty Shop and Marta's Makeup, and I have to say, I've been talking quite a bit with Marta's, not like a lot, but like back and forth, just about bits and pieces, and she's very, very nice. And oh, when I saw this color story, it was beautiful. It's on sale now for like a pre-order for €65, but you can use a code to take 10% off, which is pretty good, you know, for an indie brand. It is limited edition, but they have said that they're going to restock at least once in about a month, and they'll kind of keep doing that as long as there's interest. first, but they will eventually look to phase it out, which I respect. I think that makes sense. They're not trying to do FOMO with people either, which I'm like, good. I respect that. That is nice. Those sort of colours and tones look very, very pretty to me. I like it.
I like it, but I don't love it. I love the artwork. Palette like A+, and then on the swatches it looks beautiful, but I feel like it's a little bit. I don't understand those two pinky tones there, because there's like a very cool tone purple, but then there's like mauvey pinks, which like I usually wouldn't pair. Like the greens, I like some of the shimmers. It's not quite there for me. It also reminds me of the new Artitude one for some reason.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a similar kind of color story. Like I like the colors separately in there, like that Forewarning and Netherworld and Quetzalcoatl. Don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Quality. That looks gorgeous, and some of the shimmers look like insane. But it's just like a palette. I feel like I would need another palette to work with it.
Yeah, that's fair. I can in my head figure out how I would put Netherworld, Apophis, and Temptation together. I know how I would do that in my brain. Yeah. Like it makes sense to me, but I like these tones. You know, I think this is
like a very Teresa palette though.
It is. It's like she reached into my brain and kind of went, what would you like? And this is what
I would like to see a little bit more like differentiation with regeneration and fertility, because when you look at the swatches, at least on the darker skin tone, they look very similar. Like they're very similar on the depth and then on the tone, even though they look very different on the palette. So I would like to see like other one being more deep. Maybe if that green, like regeneration, was like really like a darker, like army green, then with the fertility color it would have been so nice together. Yeah. So I feel like there could be a little bit more like tweaking with them.
I will say there are instances where you'll take shades that look similar in the pan, and then depending upon somebody's undertones, they'll look really different.
Yeah.
So if you look at it on like the light skin versus the deeper skin, you can see there's almost like a little bit of a difference. So this is one of those things where I don't think you can necessarily trust looking at the pans themselves, but you should really be
you need to kind of see the swatches.
Like on the light skin, you can really see that one shade is more mustardy toned, and then another shade has more like green.
But they're still like the same depth.
Yeah.
I would like to see like maybe a little bit more differentiation with the like how deep some of the colors are, but like it's so nicely photographed. It's so nicely, like I like that the swatches, the palette looks gorgeous, like the artwork looks amazing, and like with the indie brand, but sometimes we can see like kind of iffy release pictures. But this is really nicely like photographed and like shown. And I can see a lot of people liking this. It's just not maybe a palette for me.
Fair. I feel like the artwork is giving me, and I mean this in the best possible way, really old school Kat Von D vibes back when she was interesting and she had the really cool artwork. It's kind of giving me that like undertones of gothic subculture. Full disclosure, I went off and I pre-ordered it because I just
the shimmers look amazing. I do have to give them that. Like you can really see that there's some like duochromes, and you can really see that some of those are gonna look so different depending on what you have underneath there, and some of them are like toppers and like
I think it's just a beautiful palette in general. But I mean, these things are always so subjective. It depends upon what your sort of color stories are. I'm a sucker for purples and greens. Those are the things that I really like, and then other people will be like, no, get fucked. So fair is all I can say. When I put it to you guys, 47% of you loved it, which, I mean, if you've watched releases and rants for any period of time, that's a really clear indicator of success. Then we have a really odd, and I don't even want to say collaboration, because I don't feel like Frida Kahlo would actually be okay with this. Like, she was quite a socialist. She wasn't really into capitalism, and yet we have this Sheglam and a Frida Kahlo collection. There's a lot in this. You can get the full collection for 46 $6.99. There's an eyeshadow palette for $7.99, and I don't even want to get into that.
What is that palette? Why?
I don't want to talk about the palette.
Is that the picture of the inside of the palette?
I don't want to talk about the palette, but I know I have to talk about the palette. The palette is torture. Basically, you have a palette which has an overspray, which is a picture of Frida. And what you then have to do as the consumer is like get rid of that overspray with your finger, really dig on in there to reveal the true color story underneath it, which is browns.
No, absolutely not.
I hate that. I genuinely
It's like that. That is like that little like. Do you remember the palette?
Yes, of the girl with the pearl earring. Yes.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. But
I hate it so much. Like this palette is garbage. Landfill. Like what the actual? Like I'm furious.
It looks so bad.
It's so bad, and it looks so bad when they like swatched it. It looks so like ew.
But I took these pictures, by the way, from Sheglam's own website, and they have like this thing, and I'm going to show it to you guys now. It says like, 1, find a stunning print of Frida herself on the palette. By the way, you can't keep that print unless you plan to not use the palette. And then it's like 2, blend and mix each eyeshadow pan with your finger until the print has dissolved. And then 3, reveal the neutral shades of the eyeshadow palette and apply as usual. Absolutely awful. Like,
I mean,
I
think they should just like, I don't know.
The fucking palette though. I just
palette just ruins everything, kinda.
It looks so bad.
It's so, and then they put a picture like of the pans without the like Frida print there. Yeah. It's not gonna look like that, honey.
No, it really won't. I don't know what they were on. Or
and they're all shimmers.
I fucking hate it.
And they're not even that exciting.
No, I hate it.
Yeah, the palette is just that's gonna be one of the worst releases of this year.
Oh, it has to be. And if it isn't, I'm sorry, but I quit. Like I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. Like fuck it. I cannot verbalize because I really enjoy Frida Kahlo. I think she was an incredible artist, and I just feel every aspect of this entire collection is not what Frida would have liked. She wasn't into like consumerism or anything like this. So the fact that there's like a fast beauty brand that is doing this, A, she'd have fucking hated that, and then B, that sort of nonsense. Like she was all about creativity and expression and like breaking the barriers around normative behavior. Would she fucking want a neutral eyeshadow palette? No. Well, she wouldn't want an eyeshadow palette in the first place. Like the whole thing, it's just I hate it
a little bit of like who's making bank with her name on this.
Obviously whatever relatives are left behind, but it does make you wonder what's going on with that estate that they're doing that. The most interesting bits are probably the blushes. There's 3 shades, $3.99 each.
That pink blush though, and the orange.
Yeah. Can I just say though, the packaging on that, is it just me, but does that give you old school Melt vibes?
Yeah, the full collection is like, I feel like kind of
There's liquid brow pens in 4 shades, which I'm kind of a bit annoyed about, because if you're talking about Frida Kahlo, yes, it makes sense that you have a brow pen, but they didn't go anywhere near deep enough. None of them would have worked for Frida, although I do feel like Sheglam's stuff are of a really good quality and they look really interesting.
I would like to see swatches on those. Are those the same kind of brow pens, or are there swatches?
They're liquid brow pens, so they're...
Yeah, because they have the one that you have like twistable, like a brow pen, and then those kind of brow markers. I might buy the taupe color or the espresso. They look kind of nice, but sometimes I've had the other ones and sometimes they pull really red for some reason on my brows, or maybe it's just my skin showing underneath. But I'm interested in that and I might order that at some point. But when this, all of the shades, like on the hand, on the brows, they look amazing. Exactly. But then on the hand...
Exactly. It's really strange. And again, for Frida Kahlo, she was known for her brows. Well, she was known for her brows and her art, mostly her art.
These are the similar kind of shades that they had on the double-sided ones. They are actually, the espresso one is actually really like dark. But I feel like on the hand, those swatches, like they're not really selling them. On the brow pictures, they look nice. On the hand swatches, they look like they all will be really warm except the espresso shade, which would be the darkest then.
Yeah, I think they definitely needed to add in some extra shades.
I don't understand why there's like a spoolie on the other end, because usually when you use those kinds of brow pen
Yeah, they
thingies, you
don't use
don't
the
need
spoolie.
the spoolie because it's gonna smudge it, and you don't really want to smudge it when you want to like mimic hair strokes. So it doesn't really make sense in there. But I mean, I guess it's nice to have before you like start to fill your brows in. You can just brush them in or
Yeah, maybe they're
something.
thinking of like people who are like on the go and here, just put it into your bag and you can do your brows all in one go with one tool. And then finally they have a lip tint and they're $4.99 each. Like the price is good, but some of these items are just like all over the place. I mean, the lip tint things look kind of pretty. I think the packaging
Yeah.
really looks absolutely stunning. And like that's really kind of on trend at the moment. If they had just done the bloody blushes, extended the brow pen, done those lip tints, that would have been fine.
Yeah.
It would have been grand. I
The
don't
palette is just ruining it for all.
I,
Everything is ruined.
I hate it so much. I'm done. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah,
It's
me
destroyed my
neither.
life. When I put the whole collection to you guys, 9% of you loved it. When I showed you the dreadful palette, 6% of you loved it. I'm sorry, but you're wrong. The blushes did the best. 41% loved it, which I get. 18% loved the brows, and then 32% loved the lip tints. Then we have Rude Cosmetics, who collaborated with Mentos, and this is actually available right now. There's two palettes. They're $22 each. There's a neon palette, and then there's a pastel palette. They have two highlighters. One is more pinky toned and one is like a yellow one. They're $7.75 each. I'm confused by the shades of the lip crayons because they're very, very neutral. One is deeper and one is lighter, and they're $8.25 each. And then the remainder of it then are things like powder puffs, there's an eye brush set, there's a face brush set, and then there's a makeup travel bag. Now, I was going all through Rude Cosmetics website, and the thing that I didn't love is that they are available now, but you have no swatches, so you can't actually tell what these are actually going to look like.
Yeah. It's at least it's on brand for like Mentos.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, I'm not looking at this and kind of going, where did they get these ideas from?
Yeah.
They're totally fine. And I do actually quite like the palettes. Will I pick them up? No, because I have loads, but I actually think color stories are really nice. It's nice that they each have their own columns. There's a really nice aesthetic to it. It looks fun. It makes sense. I
Yeah.
love the pastel one. I think that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I have again heard really good things about Rude Cosmetics. I know Wilma has quite a few of their bits and pieces, so she like thinks they're really good.
Very hard to get in here.
Yeah,
Like in Finland, I feel like a lot of places don't sell it. So
they come quite a bit to TK Maxx, and I know that Superdrug and sometimes Boots have a few of their bits, so they're not always incredibly easy to find. But all I would say is if I saw this in TK Maxx in a couple of months and it was, we'll just say hypothetically, €14, I'd think about
I'll
it.
get it. Yeah, I wouldn't complain. I would actually like the pastel one, looks really nice. $22. It's not actually a bad price.
Yeah.
And it probably would be even cheaper if you find it on TK Maxx or TJ Maxx or anywhere else. Like I feel like Root Cosmetics is the most expensive on their own site. And then when they sell them on anywhere else, it's a little bit cheaper. So
yeah, I don't think it's a bad one at all. Everything kind of makes sense. Like you said, the powder puffs, everyone is doing them, so I think they're just trying to catch on to a trend there. The brushes, they're not my sort of shapes. I also feel like they're a little bit too expensive. Like the face brushes are $36.50. That's just a little bit too much for me, considering I don't really know that much about the brand in terms of their brushes. And I really, really, really want to see swatches of the highlighter, because at the moment I'm not looking at them, but who knows, they could actually be very nice.
yeah, I want to see swatches on both of the palettes and the highlighters, because that could change everything.
Yeah. Now I did whinge about that in a video earlier, and Rude Cosmetics did actually reply to me today, and they were like, swatches are coming, and I was like, I fucking hope so. Like people have
It should be
bought it.
ready. Like, why would we need to wait for swatches?
Particularly when you're already selling the item.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I feel like swatches should be like something that it's always there before you even release the stuff.
Or at the very least alongside.
Alongside, like on the site.
Yeah, but no, it just feels really strange to me that they don't have swatches.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I wouldn't buy anything without seeing any of that. That being said, I don't think it's a bad collection at all.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it though. Again, it was kind of middle of the road for a lot of people. The palettes did fare the best with 19 and 18%. Love it. The highlighters then were the next big thing at 16%. The powder puffs actually were really quite liked. 19% loved those. 20% actually loved the face brush set. 4% loved the lip crayons, which I agree with. The eye brush set actually fared really well as well, with a 25% love it, and 7% loved the little makeup travel bag. Then we have Artitude Cosmetics with their new release. I'm going to struggle to be impartial on this because I've known about this for a really, 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 really long time, but I've managed to keep my fat mouth shut. This is the Artitude Cosmetics Maneater Untamed palette. So it all kind of came out this week as to this is what it looked like. And there's also some brushes as well, and there's going to be some lashes, but we're mostly talking about the palette itself today. So it's all kind of like jungle themed. There's a lot of like grungy greens in there. There's little pops of color to kind of represent bits of the jungle. You know me, I like it. I actually have the palette here right next to me. I think the thing that I find a little bit frustrating, and I was kind of saying this to Rux, that it's really hard to get a picture of this palette because it just doesn't look as nice pictured as it actually looks.
Yeah.
Basically have it in front of you, and that's a little bit frustrating. Like even the shade in the top right hand corner, that looks silver in the photo, but it isn't silver. It's this beautiful like yellowy greeny like wet sort of a shade. Like it's I'm looking at it right now, and like
some of the shimmers look really nice, and I like some of the colors, but I don't, it looks a bit too jumbled for me. I feel like if it was arranged differently, I might have liked it more. Like I can see a looks that I could do with it, but I do feel like there's too many like mid-tone. It looks like on the pictures that a lot of the colors are very like similar depths, and that like kind of puts me off because I'm like thinking I know I could make a pretty look out of it. I've seen people do beautiful looks with this already, but just not like I like the colors separately. I just don't know, like it's not an ugly palette, but it's not like a palette that I don't think I would reach for over my other ones that I love more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I
that's
need
right.
to see. I'm gonna wait to see Teresa's video though, because that might change everything.
Yeah, because like I have it here, and like you can hopefully see.
Yeah, it looks. I feel like it looks. Yeah, it looks a bit better. Like even like this.
Yeah, and
But
like
like
again, it swatches so much better as well. Like it's really hard to like fully like I have Untamed here, and like that is just
that is beautiful. I
like
would use that as a highlighter.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, same. And like there's really nice kind of pale shades in here as well for like blushes as well that I was planning on using, you know.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
yeah, I would use that pink and that peach and even that other. Are those two peach, like there's one like peachy color in the corner and one next to the black. Are
yeah,
those like very similar? Because on the
here's the
swatches
thing.
they do look.
Yeah, on me, they look very similar. So I talked to Rux about that, and I was like, you need to get rid of one of these. And we went online and we were talking about it, and she was like, they look very different on me because she has a deeper skin tone. So I, of course, grabbed Sahil and I was like, can I swatch these on you? And they look very different on his skin tone.
Oh.
So this is one of those things that on a paler skin tone like myself, you're not going to see that much distinction. But if you have a deeper skin tone, those two shades actually, one turns up more like peachy toned and one is straight up like pink toned. So they actually look very, very different when you see them on that particular skin tone. So that's kind of what I was saying like earlier when we were looking at the Mika brand, that I was like, oh, I now am aware that there are times that something looks a particular way in a palette, but you can't tell until you see it swatched. So
I still kind of think that when you're making a palette, like you don't kind of want too much similar. Say it's like I can understand that they can look different on different skin tone, but then it's kind of like for me, I would like to see like more differentiation, that it wouldn't be similar on a different skin. Like, I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it looks really pretty. I feel like I could make really pretty looks with it. But it's just not for me. It's not hitting the spot that I'm like at the moment. I feel like I've noticed that I don't really like pink, and like pink, saying this, having
Yeah,
pink
as you have
eyeshadow
pink on your
on, but
face.
like
Lies.
I don't really like those like mauvey, pinky, purpley tones on me. So that's why I feel like some of these shades, like they look beautiful, and that like dark brown has like a chokehold on me, because I really like a really deep like dark brown. I don't know. I might change my opinion once I've seen this like more in action, but it's not for me at the moment.
I also just think a lot of people are in that point of like just not buying things or trying to be really careful about things.
Yeah,
It's not how
trying to
we
just
were.
be like, I'm trying to be like more like, would I actually use this on its own? Because I have so many palettes. Actually counted my palettes after I have 75 eyeshadow palettes. And yes, it's not much to Teresa, but it is a lot of palettes. So I kind of have to think about, when I'm like buying things now, like would I actually use this? Because I have so many palettes that don't get used, so I don't want it to be another palette on my collection that I don't use.
Yeah. But that makes sense. Like, don't just buy things for the sake of like, well,
Yeah,
have it physically, said Teresa, who does that
yeah.
all the time.
I feel like
That's impressive.
she's proved the shimmer formula though, like
Yeah.
from the Phoenix, because I didn't really like the Phoenix shimmers that much. I feel like they lacked like the sparkliness
Yeah.
that I like to see in shadows. But you can really see the pink and the green and the like turquoise you said, and then the whitish like shade that looks silver but it's not silver. Like you can really tell that those are like sparkly, like wet, like nice
Yeah.
shimmers.
Yeah, she worked a lot on the formula because in the prototype that I had, there were like a couple of things with like mattes being a little bit patchy. So there was a little bit of back and forward to try and like improve that.
Yeah.
So it's just funny just seeing the behind the scenes
Yeah.
process of like, oh, it really does take a while to
Yeah.
get these things done. Because I think I've had this since like September. So
Yeah.
I shut my trap for that
It
period.
could be that if I had this, I would actually love it so much if I would use it, like have it here. I've actually been on Artitude PR, but I haven't received anything after the first parcel she sent. So I don't know. But like those brushes, they look really nice, and the case and all.
Yeah, I have those as well as the lashes, and they are pretty. I'll be.
Oh, I'm actually wearing Artitude lashes. I really like her lashes though.
She does have
And
that.
the like liner palettes. The eyeshadow palettes that she's released before haven't been my favorites. But like I really would like to like sometimes try again and see like has the formula like come better, because they haven't been my favorites before.
Yeah, I think there is a big improvement, and there's been a lot of like forward movement on that, in
That's
my
good.
opinion. But yeah, keep an eye out. There will be a video coming up next week. Well, actually, I hate to say it, but next week it's going to be a little bit of an Artitude Cosmetics week, because there's going to be the video about the behind the scenes of when I got it initially in September, and talking about it and testing it and talking through the
Oh, that's gonna be
behind.
exciting.
Yeah, and then an actual video trying the products. And then Rux is going to appear next week on Releases and Rants to talk a little
That's
bit about the
amazing.
palette. Yeah, so like it is Artitude Cosmetics Week next week. Soz guys, it is what it is. But I gotta say, I think the palette has done really well. Like even you guys really seem to go for it, because 40% said love it. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Yeah, I think it depends upon like what your aesthetic is.
Yeah.
It's all down to the color story at this point.
Yeah.
preferences
I
are.
will say that my Phoenix palette has had a really good yellow. So like that yellow and that lime green are like kind of like calling my name in there.
Hold on now.
We need to see them swatched. Yeah. They look nice.
Yeah.
They look really nice.
And you know me,
The
I don't
yellow
like
is
to look
really solid. Yeah. The yellow is really solid.
like it looks like I haven't touched this palette. I haven't dug into it at all. So that's a proper like one swatch type of a thing.
That looks nice.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those ones that I kind of feel bad that Artitude isn't in a store that you could actually go and like fiddle with it.
Swatch it
I
and
think
see. Yeah.
I think that's how it would get a lot of people, because I was kind of frustrated going backwards and forwards like with Rooks when I saw the pictures, and I know that the person who did the pictures, they did the best that they could, because I don't think I could take pictures to really capture it
It's
either.
really hard sometimes to catch the, like there's a lot of times when I've like received a palette and see it in real life and it's even more beautiful. Or
Yeah.
like some palettes that you haven't like, you're like, oh, I don't think that would be nice. And then you see it on real life and they're like, wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those. And again, they worked really hard to get the photographs to be as good as possible, but it's the nature of the palette. You just can't really get it past a certain, you have to see it, which is
Yeah.
again a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Oh Jesus, can we talk about this next?
Oh my lord.
Oh, this is Ainsley Rain Cosmetics. I spoke about them recently. I got a palette actually from Sahil for Christmas. It was the Midwinter Dream palette, and I gotta say their multi-chromes are very, very pretty. I actually think they could do a full palette on just like their multi-chrome shimmery things, because I think that's where they really shine. This is a new palette which is coming out on April 14th at 4:44 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's called their Enchanted Garden Full Moon Pressed Eyeshadow. And I gotta say, it looks stunning.
Oh my goodness. I know this is gonna be expensive. Like
Yeah.
just for what we know about the previous one being expensive. But my God,
It's
these are
gorgeous.
gorgeous. Like I don't think you would need a matte in there. I kind
That's
of
what
wish
I'm
it was
thinking.
all shimmer.
Thank you.
Like sometimes I just hate when they like add like 5 mattes and they're all like, what would I do with those mattes? I can't create a look with those mattes. I would need another palette anyways in it. So I would rather have like a smaller palette with just shimmers and not mattes. Like I feel like a lot of cosmetics, like Adept does this also. Like sometimes they have like 2 mattes, or like in this one they had like, well, to be fair, this one the mattes were like kind of like you could make a look if you don't need a black, but like I think it's just pointless in my opinion to add those mattes in there.
I could not agree more. I think that when you have something that is this beautiful, when it's like these lovely sparkly,
Yeah.
because by the way, I'm going to show you like the videos that go along with this, because I've just taken screen grabs and they do not do it justice. I'm sorry, you have to see the video. But like, if you have something that beautiful, no matter how good your matte formula is, I just don't think it's going to do it. Like, I think Gourmand Girls was 5,000% correct. Do it. Go balls to the wall, have your duochrome, multichrome palettes, and have that be the thing. And I think that's what they should have done here. I think they are stunning. Like, I close my eyes and I see them imprinted on my retinas.
I feel like you either have to go like to the direction where you have like fully shimmer palette, or you have to have kind of like 50-50 thing and have enough mattes to create a look like enough with just those, because now we have like a purple, green, orange, and like a pinkish brownish kind of shade.
It's almost like a burnt red.
Yeah, what would I do with those? None of them, like maybe the orange and the burnt like reddish color would go together, but they're the same depth.
I agree. And this is kind of how I felt about the Midwinter Dreams palette. Absolutely stunning. And the mattes did work really well. I had no complaints about that. But it's just like, because there wasn't a 50-50 split,
you need another palette to make a full look with it.
Which is fine. That's fine. And Lord knows
fine, but it's just not like, I would rather just have the special things separate and then have my like, because I have so many like good matte palettes already,
Yeah,
like fully matte palettes I could
exactly.
pair it with.
Exactly. I will say though, like those swatches, like
My
Jesus
God.
Christ, they are
Oh,
stunning.
Jesus in heaven, help us.
I love them. Like if I could get my little raccoon hands onto those, I would be shoving them all over my face. I think they're fabulous. Really,
I'm
really.
expecting this to be at least the same price as the
Oh, I'd say
previous one.
so. I'd say so. I can't see this
Could be
being.
even more because this has like fewer mattes in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I can't see you having much change out of $100, particularly if you're thinking about shipping. So like for me, I just can't. Like I think it's absolutely stunning. If I won the lotto in the morning, yeah, I'd be off buying it. I'd buy one for me, I'd buy one for Tia, I'd buy one for all of us. Like it'd be
Yeah,
fantastic. But unfortunately, finance.
we're not rich,
I
so
mean, the Kylie Jenners of the world have all that money. And yet, if I had that, think of all the makeup we'd all own. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think because I just put it onto my stories this evening, but
I'm expecting
I
it to be pretty high.
yeah, I think so. Now, the way that I think of high is anything above a 30% love it is usually like it has done very, very well. Then we have ColourPop, who are doing yet another collaboration, and this is with Avatar: The Last Airbender. And as per usual, they have a whole slew of things. There's an eyeshadow palette, there's some liquid liners, there's some lip creams, there's a Super Shock highlight. But I gotta say, the thing that is probably the most interesting are those chrome liquid shadows, because that is legitimately new for them. They've never actually done that before. But I will say it's kind of reminding me a little bit of when Juvia's Place did their chrome liquid shadow.
Yeah, I will say I don't like the red and the yellow cap shades, but the blue and the green one.
Yeah.
My lord, they look beautiful when I saw them swatched.
Yeah.
Like obviously all of them look beautiful, but I just don't for myself like the red and the yellow one. I just don't use that kind of shift. I don't really like it. I don't think it's that special. I feel like they've gone a little bit under the kind of like under the bar because I feel like they could have made them so much more special.
Yeah.
Like look at their like literally obsessed shades and all of those.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going a little bit under the bar. The blue one and the green one looked really pretty, but other than that,
I
I
think if
don't
they'd
really
even
think
just done the blue and the green, that would have been fine. That would have been great.
But it makes sense for the collection though, because
Yeah.
it's like Avatar, so you have the fire, the water, the
Yeah.
air, all
Yeah.
of those.
But then at the same time, make sure they're all equally interesting.
I actually don't hate the palette. Like
Mm.
it's not something I would run out to buy, but it's not like disgusting either. Like the shimmers look like very average. But I like the blue shades, I like the green shades, I like the like grayish color. Kind of looks interesting, the like reddish black.
Yeah.
It
I would
makes
say,
sense for the avatar like thing, but I'm like, how would it like actually work in like real life? I don't know because we don't have swatches. We have like those where they like swipe them,
yeah. And I
but
don't
that's not
trust
like
ColourPop.
swatches.
I don't trust ColourPop in the images that they give, because
Yeah,
it may not be
because it
what actually
looks
does.
so different always. Like this could be way more pretty. Like I would expect this to be way more beautiful, like in real life,
Yeah.
or if you see it like in video or in swatched. It's not a bad collection. It's not actually a huge one. I
Very
hate
good.
the highlighter.
Oh, I don't even want
But,
to talk about that. That's so stupid.
like
Can I say something? And it's going to sound a little bit weird, but when I saw that eyeshadow palette, and I don't know if this is a compliment. No, it is a compliment. I didn't immediately think ColourPop. When I saw this initially and I just did a quick, glance of the eye, I thought it was Nomad Cosmetics,
oh, it kind of does look like Nomad,
because it gives me the
like one
same
of
sort
their
of layout.
palettes.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
looks like
kind of
the
does.
Hudson Valley one that they came out with recently.
I have some of that liner thing, and they're not all that great. I will say they're very watery. You have to shake them very well, and even then, they're not like the best formulation. So I would skip those.
Yeah. And I said this in a TikTok video. I don't care about the lip cream, don't care, but I love the packaging of the red panda. I can't cope. I love red pandas. I love them so, so much. I'd almost half think about getting it, but I don't support ColourPop. But like, I fucking love red pandas.
I like both of the shades.
Yeah. I will say, if a brand is watching, on the off chance, could you make a palette that just randomly has a red panda on it? Or even a lipstick that has like a little red panda on the tube? That would make me so happy. Because obviously all brands should pander to me. Red pander to me. I lectured for 6 hours.
Do what Teresa wants now, please.
She's slowly losing her mind. It's not the worst thing we've ever seen from ColourPop. It definitely isn't. But I want to know, because I've never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. For anyone who has watched it, is this in line? You've watched it.
I have. Yeah. I feel like I can't remember because it's such a long time since I last saw it, but I feel like it is kinda. Don't quote me on this because it's literally been like so many years since I last like watched it. But I feel like it is kinda. Yeah. I'm not like disappointed or seeing anything that's like, but they've done The Last Airbender before, right?
They have, yeah.
Yeah. So this is just like another one.
Yeah, well,
and I don't know if I've seen this one, The Legend of Korra. I don't know.
I mean, it's classic ColourPop. Do a collaboration to death, you know. Just keep doing it, and nobody will buy things.
Doing it and doing it and doing it, and then doing it some more, and then
it'll never end. It'll never end.
It's
It's
a
not
never-ending story.
I mean, it's not for me, but like it is what it is. Again, I don't know what you guys think about this yet, but I will show you guys the stats on each of the items. I would be particularly interested in those who have watched the series, movie, whatever. Let me know. I don't even know if it's a movie or a series. And then the very last thing that we're talking about is Angelica Nyqvist, who some of you or most of you will probably know. She's a YouTuber. She has her own channel, and rather randomly today was like, hey, I have my own brand now, and it's called Singe Beauty. I was really not expecting that. I don't feel like there was any teasers to anything occurring. She's done several collabs at this point, so I really didn't expect that she was going to come out with her own beauty brand. It's quite interesting that she's come out with brushes, of all things. They're $55 for 5 brushes, which for me,
it's not that bad.
It's not awful, but for me, and I have 20 pots of brushes in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't need
I like some of the shapes though. Like I like all of the shapes. I feel like those would be the kind of brushes I would reach for.
Yeah, I like EO5, EO3, and EO2. Those are the ones I really like. I like something that's quite small and tapered.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I really like.
They're all kind of like, even the big brush is like tapered.
Yeah.
That I like that. I like tapered. I really like the 1, 2, 4, and 5. I think the biggest one, I like it, but I don't know if I would use it enough because I already have like that kind of brushes. But I actually really, really like this. Is it gonna ship from US? Yeah, because it's USD. And I hate that it's US. Like I feel like she should have remembered us European people also and have like obviously catered to us too.
Yeah. What about us, guys? What about us?
What about us, Angelica? What about us?
How dare you not think about our beauty needs? Apparently, the website is up now. I'm even looking at it, and they say that the brushes are vegan and cruelty free. They do they do ship to Ireland, so it does look like all of their products are like available worldwide.
I wonder how much the shipping is.
Don't know. It's not a bad price. I mean, when you think about existing brands and etc.
I really like Angelica, and I really like that she's coming out with her own beauty brand. I feel like she has a unique perspective. Like she likes a lot of like similar kind of things that I do.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting to see more, and I'm really happy for her, and I hope she does really well.
I mean, she's done really amazing collabs in the past. Any of the collabs she's done with any brands have done incredibly well. So I think it was only a matter of time that she was going to do her own thing. And I think it's
one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
You can't even have this anymore. But this will never leave my collection.
I think this makes sense that she hasn't come out with a palette, but has instead come out with brushes. Like she's starting off with tools. It's kind of reminding me of a little bit of when Nikki Tutorials came out with her brand, and she started off with kind of tools, skincare, that sort of thing. Then once she had kind of got that consumer base and people knowing that they could trust her, then she started into the cosmetics. And I think Angelica is going to do something similar. She's going to start off with the tools, and then
I think next might be like an eyeshadow palette.
I think it might be a release or two away. I can see her doing maybe a face brush set before that.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll do really well. She has like
If I was swimming in money right now, which I am not, but if I was, I would buy these.
Yeah, I hope she starts to sell them individually as well. I think that'll be
that would be a nice thing.
Yeah,
I really like.
We will do that at some point.
Yeah, because brush sets are always like kind of like a miss and hit sometimes. Like you always get brushes you don't really need or use.
Yeah, I think she's smart to do it as a bundle right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of months she sells them individually, kind of like how Cash Beauty did with their Color Trip brushes. They started off with a bundle and then you could buy them separately, which I think was very, very smart. Again, I don't know what you guys actually think of it yet, but I'm going to put the poll on the screen now to show your thoughts. But my friends, that is it. It was quite a long episode. We had a lot to talk about, to be fair.
A lot.
Yeah, but I do have my favorite comment, and this is from Rebecca Nida, who said, I don't want chemicals in my products. What do you want your products to be made of then, Karen? Black holes?
That was quite good.
I did enjoy that. There was a lot of comments in general, just being like, can't wait for Tia to come back. Nah, 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 nah.
Obviously, everyone missed me.
It is my channel. I edit this. I do the PDF. Damn it! I am true chopped liver. True chopped liver.
You are the chopped liver on your own channel.
At every possible juncture, people don't care if I'm on or not. I could have a broom on here and have you on, and people would be delighted.
Yeah.
Wouldn't notice that I wasn't on. They'd be like, oh, that's grand. But my friends, that is the end of the episode. You know the general drill. Do please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can see more releases and rants and other general videos. And do please share, because sharing is caring, except, of course, for STDs, in which case, you know, just wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.